Yo! What's up, lads and ladies? I don't know why I keep doing that yo thing. I don't know. um, how's it going? It's me, Alex. This one, as you can see, is a video about hyperburning as a main and my top picks. I had a conversation with a guy in the comments just about this sort of topic, and I thought I'd just show like my top 5 picks that I would use. Again, this isn't like a crazy sort of meta, like, this is the best, incredible, most, like, big damage, brrr, like, kind of thing. There's videos of that online and tier lists and things. But this is sort of my take on my personal picks, and what I like. Yeah. But yeah, if you want crazy tier list stuff, you can go, I'm just saying the same thing again and again. My first pick is gonna be Dawn Warrior. Crazy, I know, right? I think Dawn Warrior is absolutely incredible. It's the reason I main it in Reboot now. In terms of grinding, it's absolutely insane. It's got so much map coverage. By rotating all of the different various buffs and skills, you can get incredible kill rates in so many different maps so easily. Bossing wise, it's incredible. It's got so much pump damage. It's got really actually decent off burst. Because the bossing skill and the grinding skill are the same skill, so they don't balance them separately, so you do really good base damage. You do so many different lines as well. I really love Dawn Warrior, I don't know what to say. It's got so many different like versions of survivability. You've got so many iframes with solar clips. What's that called? Luster, Flicker, I believe. Yeah, Bluster and Flicker. You've got passive healing. You get the access to the Transcendent Cygnus Blessing, which is a crazy skill. It has a self-bind. It's got so much movement. I really love this class. I don't know what to say. Coming from maining a Pathfinder to then maining Dawn Warrior is such a different experience, and I just think it's fantastic. Really, reignited my passion for Maple. It's kind of why I've started doing these videos. But I think Dawn Warrior is fantastic. So if I had to give a number one pick as to what someone should definitely pick, it would be Dawn Warrior. But again, I'm being totally biased. Like, you may hate the simplicity of Dawn Warrior because at the end of the day, it is just one button. But for me, that's what I look for in classes, and you'll see that along this list is a lot of simplicity. You can get things like Kadena and Blaster that have that sort of opportunity for higher skill expression by APM and things like that, but for me, that's not what I want. So this is like what I love in a class. True Sight is an absolutely incredible debuff. It's 20% IEDs, 5% final damage, 10% elemental resistance reduction, and that's for everyone in your party that like on the affected mob. It's a really, really good skill. It's so incredible. But yeah, I think Dawn Warrior is great. Our next pick is gonna be another class that a lot of people are probably expecting. is Hero. Hero is a great class. Gone are the days of Hero being a sort of lackluster grinder. Ever since the Destiny and the Ignition updates, Heroes had so much like given to it in terms of mobbing utility. You've got so much more movement now with Blade Flash. The up jump actually is pretty decent. Burning Soul Blade you can now place and no longer have to worry about the tether range. Because I believe it just sort of stays as a summon now, and will just clear areas of maps for you. You don't need to worry about it being on screen. Puncture does so much like mob damage, and it's actually got a big coverage as well, so it's great for mobbing utility. In the Hero Discord, I see a lot of puncture mobbing versus Raging Blow mobbing discussions, but I think puncture mobbing is really, really good. Yeah, Hero is really great. The way combo orbs work and all the massive stacking final damage means you can get so much more bang for your buck in terms of investment. So you can skimp out a little on a hero and still do massive damage and be able to participate in parties quite easily. But Hero is fantastic. It's always sort of been a great class in my opinion, but it just gets better and better with every patch. It doesn't have a self-bind. That is one of the things I would say. So you need to make a level 25 Urda Nova to match the burst time of the 2 minutes. But it's really great. Puncture also applies a debuff, which you can see on the screen. On the text in game, it talks about critical hit damage, but it is just a damage buff from what I've been able to tell from various translations. It's just poorly worded. But yeah, I think Hero is fantastic. And we will go on to our next pick. And that is going to be Pathfinder. Ooh, unexpected one. A lot of people would say Marksman or Bowmaster here, but I just have like a massive passion for Pathfinder. I think it's an incredible class. As much as I really don't want to play it again in Reboot because I've already experienced everything with a Pathfinder. If I was suggesting to someone a class to play, I would say Pathfinder 100%. The amount of simplicity in this class, along with just how it plays, feels incredible. Burst and Deluge and a macro, just put that on a skill and you can basically just go straight to 275 all the way from level 60. It's a really, really, really great class. The thing I love about Pathfinder the most is Torrent. Torrent is like a stacking movement dash skill. You can stack it up to 5 times, and you can basically fly, and then you can use the triple impact skill to sort of stall yourself in the air to get even more air time. But yeah, Pathfinder's fantastic. Doesn't have a self-bind, unfortunately. It's also a gauge class, which means every time you attack, you will build a set amount of gauge, and you will spend that gauge to use all of your relic skills. And based on what version of a relic skill you use, it will alter the rest of your skills. So you'll have a Deluge version, a Torrent version, and a Burst version. 9 times out of 10, I just use the Burst version all the time. But that's for setting up things like the Barrier to give the crit damage buff in Bursting or damage reduction, in Astra to get the damage reduction. It's a really good class. It has Nova Blast, which is a massive damaging iframe, but you just want to use it for damage mainly, but you can use it as a panic button. But yeah, it's a great class, very beginner friendly, very easy to learn the game through Pathfinder. It offers a lot of sort of easy utility that you can then develop into skills to like take across to the rest of the game with other characters. It also has Real Sharp Eyes, which is a 20% crit rate and 15% crit damage. This is better than the decent version of Sharp Eyes, so it's great party utility in that respect as well. But yeah, I don't know. Again, this is sort of my personal list. A lot of people would put Marksman or Bowmaster, but I just love Pathfinder. I mained it for years. I liberated with it in Reg. I think Pathfinder's a fantastic class. And the lore behind Pathfinder is great. It's a lovely, lovely class. Our next pick, or my next, is going to be, and you might be able to tell by the music, is Buccaneer. Sorry. Nautilus, dude. Pepe Jam. I'll keep going. I won't re-record. Nautilus? I'm just saying words now. I'm embarrassed. Buccaneer is fantastic. It has Lord of the Deep is just probably one of the best skills. Like damaging wise, you just press Lord of the Deep, you just AFK, kill everything around you. It has so much mobility on this class again. You have the Super Dash, or Advanced Dash, which you can then keybind and press the jump button at the same time, and you can just fly across the screen at any map in the game and just go absolutely crazy. With Corkscrew Dash, you can go forward, press Octo Punch and directional towards a boss, and you'll teleport back in front of them and hit them. It looks so cool. There's so many bossing videos, like I used to watch, I've watched Dango boss a couple times in Discord, and then other various bucks on YouTube, but Corkscrew just looks real cool. And then Serpent Vortex is similar to Torrent, where it's a stacking dash. You can also get a sort of super stats on this skill, I believe. If you dash and say Lotus does the push, if you're mid dash, they'll cancel each other out. I don't actually know how that works. Utility-wise, you have Speed Infusion, and we have Time Leap. These are just sort of various buffs. Speed Infusion is really good for attack speed. It's the same thing as the decent Speed Infusion, but it's party-wide instead of a self-buff. This class also has passive healing. It has shielding based on like proccing the toggles. Lightning Form is an incredible final damage buff or damage buff, and it has 3 iframes attached to it as well. But I usually just pop all of the balls instantly to get the damage off. And then Howling Fist is the massive sort of FMA blue dragon which goes across the screen. Unfortunately, Buck doesn't have a bind, but not every class can have a bind, I guess, to balance. Everyone has Urda Nova anyway. But Buck only needs a level 10 instead of a level 25 for the 3-minute timer, which is quite lucky. That's a lot cheaper. But yeah, I think Buck's cool. All the skill designs on Buck are real cool, man. All the explorers in general after the revamp look incredible, but Buck was definitely the sort of winner in my opinion. They went crazy with Buck. And the last pick, or number 5, is gonna be Wind Archer. Now this is actually the class that I'm gonna be personally Hyperburning in Savior. You can see I have a 220 Wind Archer already, but I'm going to start a fresh one just because I'm weird. I don't know why. I could be preparing right now and putting loads of event rings on it and Absolab and get it Arcane Umber gear, but I don't want to do that. I don't know why, but I don't know, I just like that sort of fresh experience again. In terms of survivability, we have Gale Barrier. Gale Barrier is an absolutely crazy skill. It's like Breath of Divinity if you've played Reg server, but it's a % HP shield on top of your existing HP. And if you get hit, it doesn't take any HP damage. You take like wind spirit damage, and that's what that 300% is. So as an example, you can pop the Risk Taker Ozring, which gives you a attack buff for not being hit. And if you get hit with Gale Barrier on and that ring active, the ring won't deactivate because you're not getting hit with true HP damage. It's the barrier damage. So it's really, really good for that. It is a 2-minute class, so you do need a level 25 Urdonova. Again, has Sharp Eyes, Pinpoint Pierce for 15% damage, IED self like debuff. But movement-wise, Windwalk is a real great sort of horizontal movement. I really like Windwalk. But the main thing I love about Wind Archer is, A, it's a Sickness Knight, so it shares the cash shop with my Dawn Warrior. But secondary, the mobbing. The mobbing on Wind Archer is absolutely ridiculous. So many, all the different arrows flying off everywhere, and all the tornadoes, all the vortexes. I just really love the way it looks. I think it's a real cool looking class. But yeah, so that's why I'm going to be burning it. I think, yeah, I really like Wind Archer. If I didn't main Dawn Warrior and Buck didn't exist, it would definitely be Wind Archer. And what we're going to do after that is we're going to go back to some honorable mentions. And this is going to be for people that sort of don't want to make a main, you just kind of want to min-max your Legion a bit for a bit of benefit for your other main. If you're doing this, you've probably got a main already. But Mercedes at 250 gives cooldown. Shade, you'll get 1% extra crit damage compared to level 200. Canna will give you boss damage. Hayato gives you, again, the crit damage. Demon Avenger gives you boss damage. And the Wild Hunter bonus is like a damage percent. Is like 20% chance to do like extra damage every time you hit. So these are basically your sort of bread and butter. I don't know what to burn. So you burn one of these, basically. Even if you don't want to play it as a boss mule, you just burn it for the Legion bonus and call it a day. But that's, I guess, the lazy man's Hyperburn. But yeah, that's sort of my video this time. That smile is disgusting. It gets me every time, man. It's just not as good as the actual face itself. The face is so clean. But yeah, again, this is my personal like tier list. So if you have like options that are different, or if you have a different opinion, let us know in the comments. And again, I'll pin them. And I'll also pin all of the BGM that I used, because I set ones based on each class. I don't know. This video might be like mega scuffed and people might not like it, but I really tried quite hard for this. I don't know how to edit videos, so I had to make all of this with scenes and various sources and elements in OBS, and it was horribly complicated, and it took me a long time, and too long that I want to admit. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. I promise, for real this time, the next one will be a gear video. I promise, for real. I'm not joking this time. I know I've said it like 3 videos in a row. Thank you very much, and I'll I don't know, see you in a couple days.